Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yusel, the game is Hearthstone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Mega-Minion deck. I made up my mind, we're going to sack the Lightwardens. Basically, their attack bonus is nice, and if there's a lot of healing flying around, they can get quite scary quite quickly, but in the early game, they're beaten down too fast, and even in the late game, they're just steamrolled into the floor unless you've got a tank protecting them. So, they're gone. I'm tempted to bring the clerics back. However, I got rid of those because, again, they kind of didn't last long. If everybody stomps them fast. So, what could we go for? We could take a Shadow Word Death. I've been having some problems with 5+ attack monsters on this deck. Mind Control is another option as an end game. Haha. I have a surprise for you, but if it gets that far, I'm probably in trouble anyway. Ultra Nice Soul Priest. Your cards and powers that restore health now deal damage instead, which basically sends me Shadow form temporarily, as opposed to traditional Shadow form, which just flips over the hero power. On the other hand, that is a 3/3 and it's a permanent effect. It's a spell. If already in Shadow form, do 3 damage. Mass Dispel, silence all enemy minions and draw a card. Circle of Healing, Mind Vision. What do I have? Let's take a Shadow Word Death just as a removal option. And what about the neutrals? Is there anything there that might come in handy? Tempted to grab a Shield Bearer as an early taunt. In fact, I need to get rid of one of those. I've got 3 of them. IB Cal's been having some fun with those in other decks, just getting rid of taunts that way. Or there is the Direwolf Alpha, which basically acts as a kind of cheap mini raid leader. What to go for, what to go for. That's another possibility. The Emperor Cobra is a useful sniper shot. The Flesh-Eating Ghoul, kinda like the Lightwarden, but a bit more durable, and it works on a different mechanism, so it gains attack by death rather than by healing. Raging Worgen doesn't really help. Could start ramping up Questing Adventurers, though. Or, what else do we have? Dark Iron Dwarf. Cult Master's a windmill card, don't really want to use that. Or we could bring back one of the Oasis Snapjaws, which has some interesting possibilities. Wind Fury Harpy, double up to 10 health and then in a fire it, give me a 10/10 Wind Fury monster. Stormwind Champion is a boost in the late game. Decisions. Let's go with the Harpy for the moment. As I said, if I can combo her up in the late game, that's a 10/10 Wind Fury lady who might prove useful. So, play and ranked because I am a masochist. Let's see what happens.
Anduin versus Rexar.
Right, so a mage. I really want a Holy Nova at this point, because he will probably pull out an Unleash the Hounds combo, and I don't have it. I do, however, have the Harpy, so if I get her out turn 6, boost on turn 7, and that's of no use to me either. I think I may have left the deck a little weak on early game minions, but as far as Unleash the Hounds goes, that's not necessarily a big deal. Right, and we'll pull out the Lightwell for turn 2, invite him to waste his efforts smacking it in the face, unless he's got something up his sleeve. Could mill the deck next turn with Power Word Shield, take the Lightwell up to 7 health and see what comes up. If I get a Divine Spirit, of course, that then lets me boost to 14. Hope he doesn't get anything out before breaking out Inner Fire, turned into a 14-14. Of course, he is probably sitting on Deadly Shot if memory serves. That's 5 mana. Okay, going to have to take something off the board next turn or else boost up the Lightwell, because they will just kill it in one turn if I don't. So, Shadow Word Pain or Power Word Shield? I think we will just go for Shield, since that basically neutralises his 5 attack and doesn't leave me with many other options. Didn't get the Divine Spirit I was hoping for. Could just say sod it and go for the boost anyway. A 7-7 would let me get some momentum up and start basically fragging his board as he deploys it. Doesn't really stick with this deck's basic concept, however. On the other hand, I have got another Inner Fire somewhere in that deck, so let's just start the beating. Right, so we will break you, I think. Crunch. Okay, he can't kill it in one turn, I hope. If he's sitting on an Arcane Shot, I have just made a horrible, horrible mistake. Okay, 2 mana Secrets on a Hunter. What could that be? Snake Trap would make sense in the early game. I'm really not at all fay with Hunter Secrets, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, so where's that going to go? Self-heal yourself. Perfect, thank you. Right, so Mogoshan Warden out, I think. May pop the secret here. No. Okay, do I risk running the damage into him? Yes, I think I do. Let's break this early on. And what horror is it going to be? Nuts! Damn, because that neutralises the Inner Fire. Okay, on the bright side, at least we got rid of it, and we got rid of it with a relatively cheap minion, so I can actually pull it back out next turn. Holy Nova would make so much sense right now. Are you going to risk it, my friend? You could kill him, but you'd trade him. Well, no, you wouldn't. You'd still have Huffer at the end of it. Why didn't I beat down that Murloc? And then you sacrifice the Murloc. There we go. Right. Okay. So I have lost my Warden. I've lost an Inner Fire. I am now in a rather bad position. No point pulling out the Lightwell, because that will just... that will just get killed off by Huffer. And if I wait around for Holy Nova, I'm going to regret it as well. So... heal the damage. And then I think we will pop Shadow and Pain onto the Timberwolf just to take the edge off Huffer. Plus anything else he pulls out this turn. If he's sitting on a load of boards and Murlocs, this could get very nasty indeed. Right, so... turn 6. Lord of the Arena, although we could go for Holy Fire and counter that little beatdown, at least in part. Bloodfenner Raptor, okay. Ha. Right, so Shadow Word Death gives me an option for later. If I pop Lord of the Arena, then he basically trades and he gets rid of it. In fact, if he pops an Arcane Shot, he can trade his Raptor to get rid of it, which is no help at all. So we will go for Holy Fire. That'll take me to 26. Trade 2 down to 19, which will leave me in the same position as before, just in an even worse option. So we'll get rid of Huffer, I think. Definite overkill using a 5 damage card to take a 1-point minion off the table, but at the same time I didn't want him with that much board advantage.
Give me a quest.
So, is he now going to start ramping out a load of low mana cards? Yes, he is. Where is my Holy Nova when I need it? Okay, Gurubashi Berserker, not in a good position. What are my options? 3, 6, 8 damage. Again, he can get rid of the Lord of the Arena on a 2-card trade if he's that minded. In fact, he probably would, because the Leper Gnome's Death Rattle will kick in. He probably expects me to treat that as a suicide option. He'll trade the Raptor and the Gnome if I play the Lord of the Arena. So let's pull out the Gurubashi Berserker. Or is that a good idea? Yes it is, because I can pull out the Berserker and then heal up. So, sequence for him this turn will be the Questing Adventurer into the Berserker to start with, then the Gnome, and then the Raptor, unless he's got something in his hand that changes it, because that will leave him with the Adventurer. Wait. What's he pulling out here? Cheap Elven Archer. He boosts the... No! Why is he going for the beatdown? Because he's reckoning he can kill me before I can get an adequate defense up. That's why. Where is Holy Nova? I need it, and I need it right now. Okay, it's not here. So, we will pull out the Lord of the Arena. Take down the Raptor. And the question is, do I heal the Gurubashi or do I heal... If he pulls out a card, the Gurubashi, the Questing Adventurer rather, goes up to a 5/5 or even a 6/6. So he can potentially wipe out the Berserker if I heal it up to 5/6. But he's got to go through my Lord of the Arena first. So he'll play a card, bring the Adventurer up to 5/5, trade it, and then go for a beatdown. So we'll heal Andrew instead, because he can't get to the Berserker this turn. Not without doing a lot of trading, and a bit of extra health at this point is worth it. So, here comes Unleash the Hounds as expected. And the second Timberwolf. I really need Holy Nova right sodding now. Okay, how's he going to play this? Elven Archer and Hounds into the Lord of the Arena. Then he will basically... No, he's not. 6, 8... And then... No, he's... Oh, he's traded his Questing Adventurer. Why has he done that? What has he got lined up? Do I care? No, not really. We will get out the Sen'jin Shield Master as an emergency taunt, and we'll also pull out the costed up Lightwell just for some emergency healing. Right. Enter. Okay, the position is bad, but it's not as catastrophic as it could have been. I was expecting him to just take out the Lord of the Arena with those hounds and then go straight for the... Oh dear. Well, at least that's his second kill command gone. Has he got Arcane Shot? Has he got Arcane Shot? Can I bring this back? 3 from the Lightwell. Mill the deck very quickly to take it up to 7/7 there. Holy Nova. Perfect. This is strictly a defensive panic. Oh, son, I wasted an opportunity there. I could have boosted the Lightwell to 7/7 and then have fired it. Okay, well, Holy Nova anyway. Clears the board. And emergency heal to Anduin, which leaves me with the decision, do I go for Inner Fire on the Lightwell or not? No, I think we'll hang on for a Divine Shield at this stage. Can always break things out later if I have to. 9 to 25 and I have board advantage. Depending on what he's got in his hand, this might not be completely beyond help. We'll get the Wind Fury Harpy out next turn. And maybe Shadow Word Death to counter it if he pulls out Mega-Minion. He's not pulled out anything, my word. Right, okay, that's what I was hoping for. So, Harpy out. She's passive for the moment. I'm going to hang off the combo here and use it on her next turn. I don't want to tip my hand about that, and 10-10 with Wind Fury works out so much nicer than a 10-10 Lightwell or a 14-14 Senjin, particularly if he pulls out Deadly Shot. Still got Shadow Word Death if he pulls a big beast, and the Ogre next turn. He's... oh, wow! I wasn't expecting that at all. I honestly thought he could have killed me about 3 turns back when he popped that Unleash the Hounds combo. But, hey, that was salvaged more by luck than judgment. Still, a win's a win. Golden Mind Blast. Woohoo! Right, let's pull out another Mega-Minion game. See if I can make any less of a hash of it this time. Still rethinking whether or not I should bring in a... what is it? A Shield Bearer. That 0/4 1-mana taunt as an early opener. Because again, Divine Spirit Inner Fire takes up to an 8/8 taunt relatively early in the game. So, let's see what we get. A worthy opponent. Anyone would think that dial was rigged. Oh, God. I hate rogues. Right, so Holy Nova. Yeah, that would have been handy opening last time. Lightwell as a turn 2 or possibly a turn 1 coin. And Lightspawn. Well, let's roll with that hand for the moment. Little weak on the opening, but if we have a Murgle Krieg coming, the Holy Nova will shut it down quite handily. So, what's breaking out? Very little. I have a Holy Smite in reserve. If I coin and Lightwell at this stage, I'm taking a bit of a gamble. So, let's hold back and see what comes out. If nothing else, it'll be that 1/2 dagger she always has in reserve. Yep, there we go. I should have popped the Lightwell. Then again, maybe she just didn't see a target worth going for, so swings and roundabouts. Unknowables and guessables. Okay, Inner Fire available if I want it. We'll pop the Lightwell. And then see what she does. Okay. Right, Harvest Golem and then Stabby. Or are you just not going to waste the durability because you know I'll heal it up? Oh, come on. Stab either the Lightwell or Anduin. I can only heal one target on the automatic. Like so. So that's just countered the whole lot. You wasted your durability there. Overspark if I want it, or I could coin and get a Lightspawn out quickly. Yes, let's get the Lightspawn out. Which gives me an early 5/5, and that Golem's something to think about. Could suicide the Golem and get its Death Rattle triggered, which would put a 2/1 on the board. Or could attempt to waste more effort on the beatdown, but 4 mana on the table. What could her options be? This is where I should really pay more attention to the other classes' card catalogues. No, we have the I am out of ideas attack again. Okay, so we saw some split healing there, but it didn't work out. And I can pop a Mogashon Warden just as a defensive mechanism. So, decisions. Do I shut down the Harvest Golem and pop the Death Rattle? I'll take some damage on the Light Spawn rather, but I can heal that up easily enough next turn. Or do I just go for the full 5 damage to the face? 5 damage to the face, I think. Hang on to the mana for the Warden if she decides to kill that off somehow. Right, options for next turn. Principally the Booty Bay Bodyguard, get a second Taunt into play. Inner Fire the Mogashon Warden, possibly. Take it up to 7/7. Right, what have we got? Okay. Recognise that the Lightwell wasn't going to go down by conventional means. I'd have gone for the Mogashon myself, but hey-ho. Right. So... no point inner firing the Warden at this stage, because it will simply come up to a 4/4, even a 6/6 if I pop out the healing. However... pull out the Booty Bay Bodyguard, perhaps? Yes, I think so. So, Bodyguard out. Run the Light Spawn into the Golem, battle trigger its Death Rattle, and then risking a beating to the Warden next turn, but at least we've got ball control. So, what is she waiting on? That's what I don't get. I'd have expected more minions out at this stage, so either there's a hand block going on, or she is setting up a very nasty rapid-fire combo.
So many options.
Yes, and that's what's worrying me. Anyhow, Boulder Fist Ogre next turn, or maybe a heal. Let's see what comes out. Overspark's an option if she pulls a taunt, of course. What are you thinking through? Blade Flurry, yeah. Okay. So that's your principal AoE gone. And there's an Eviscerate to take out the Goblin. Okay. Right. Second Light Spawn. And heal the other one, boost them all up. And then smash and crunch. And that's my turn gone. So I'm probably going to lose the Mogashon. I don't have a taunt to replace it, which is a little awkward. However, both Light Spawn are in play. They're both in decent shape. And she has popped one of her Blade Flurries, which is a bit of an option. So, Stabby? Yes, Stabby. I think she's having a bad deck draw sequence. What's coming here?
I've got a huge gun.
Okay, and you realise I'd probably just... no? Okay, so I could go for the trade on that Light Spawn, or I could Holy... no, in fact, let's Holy Smite it to get rid of it. Like so. Heal that one. Power Word Shield the other to boost it up even further. And then realise I've got 3 mana that I can't use because Overspark hasn't got anything to use. It's Battle Cry on. So, administer Smashing and end the turn. I think Wild Eyes has had a truly appalling draw on the deck, to be honest. That's the only thing I can think of. Half her desired cards just must be stuck in the bottom of the deck and doesn't have anything usable. I don't think this is down to my skill at all. So, are you trying to commit suicide on me? Apparently so. Well, unless you can get something out, I've got you. And there comes the Stampeding Kodo. Doesn't really help you. Yeah, and the second Holy Nova's turned up anyway. I don't think that was necessarily me, ladies and gentlemen. I think that was a very, very bad sequence of card draws for Wild Eyes. Never really got that deck going at all. On the other hand, it's still a win. Still counts. Sometimes the random deck draw gods decide they hate you. Random deck draw gods, of course, being closely related to the dice gods. Never ever pray to the lady, ladies and gentlemen. It goes horribly wrong. Right, game number 3. Let's see how this works out. Warlock, yay! So, Silence gives me a fast tank shutdown, but don't really have anything I can use in the early game. Let's dump the Ogre and dump the Light Spawn for the moment. See what we get. Harpy and Shadow of Death. That's not an improvement. Okay, still nothing I can use. End the turn. Okay, so coins wasted. And we have a Kobold Geomancer. Right, so lots and lots of incoming spells, I think. Chance Lightwell and then silence the Kobold? No, I don't think so. That's a waste of a silence, but we'll get the Lightwell out, even if that's inviting a Shadow Bolt and smack to the face combo. It draws the Shadow Bolt. At least they can't use it on anything more important. Who am I saying? Losing a Lightwell in the first opening of the game? Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all, is it? Right, 2-2. Bam. Now, are you going to pull out Mortal Coil on me? No, I'm simply going to heal that damage back. And then Holy Smite. Very tempting to take that Kobold out before his deck ramps up. And you know what? I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So shut you down. And we will hold back for the second. I don't want to shut one of his taunts down just yet, particularly when I've nothing that can take advantage. Mogashan Warden next turn, boys and girls. If nothing else comes out, yeah, there goes the Shadow Bolt. So, as I say, at least he hasn't popped it on anything more useful. So, Mogashan Warden's the obvious choice there. Pop. And again, we'll hang on to silence. And end the turn. I don't want to pull out silence until I'm ready to launch a blitz, otherwise he will just counter it and pull out a second taunt. Might do that anyway as part of board development, but hey, so be it. If he does, I can always go for a fast beatdown with the Harpy. Right, yeah. As I said, I suspected he was going for a spell-based attack, so we're going to see a lot of spell-boosting creatures and probably a lot of taunts into the bargain as a defensive line. Come on, make your mind up, mate. There we go. Down to 2 works for me. Divine Spirit. Now we'll simply smack the Void Walker and then heal back. I'm tempted to hold back the Power Word Shield, to be honest, because if I then boost the Harpy with it on turn 7, it gives me some options. If I pull out turn 9, does he have any instant kills? Yes, he does. Corruption. Let's hold back for a turn. That may have been a horrible mistake. We're about to find out. Wind Fury Harpy next turn, unless something else comes up. So 4 into the Ogre. Are you going to trade your Voidwalker? No, you
I've got a
aren't.
heat gun.
Stormlight Commando. And, oh no, that is a trade on the Voidwalker. I am slightly surprised. Then again, maybe I'm not, because he can just start beating it down. So I'm going to... If I pull out the Lightspawn, I can force him to trade off one of his minions. He'll probably trade the Dwarf. It's done its job with the Battle Cry, and while having 4 attack around is nice, the Ogre is more useful going forward. Shadow Word Death is useless. I've no valid target for it.
I wonder.
Tempting to pull out the Lightspawn and then 10-10. He will just counter with Corruption at that stage. Decisions. Whatever I do is likely going to get smacked down this turn, but the only other option would be for him
Quickly.
to have an advantage going in. Right, so we'll go for the Lightspawn, and then in a horrible bit of decision making, I think we will Divine Spirit it, and then end the turn. We're baiting Corruption here, and we're passing up on a very powerful Wind Fury Harpy, but at least it will give him pause before he decides to start running minions into it. So, if he's sitting on Corruption, I have just wasted rather a lot of key cards from my hand. If he isn't, well, we shall see. Second Voidwalker, and the Nightblade comes out. Holy Nova will be handy at this stage. What do you know? Okay, so... Actually, would it? Because I've got nothing I can hit with Shadow Word Death. If I silence the Voidy... Right, let's silence the Voidwalker. Take out his Ogre. That shuts down some of his spell damage. Still got 7 mana to work with. So, let's pull out... No, because then he can just trade off there. Pull out the... If I pull out the Harpy, I can't burn the Nova. If I burn the Nova, I kill the Dwarf and severely weaken the rest of his hand. I still have 2 mana to work with. Yes. Bam. Okay. And then shield.
Job's done.
Tinkmaster. Not the most useful option I could have come up with, but at least I've weakened his board and shut down his initial attack. And I've still got a 10-10 Lightspawn that I can amp up to potentially even nastier levels now. Are you desperate for cards?
What you want?
Frostwolf Grunt, right. Okay. There goes the drain life. Right, so are you gambling? Okay, we'll pull out Overspark and get rid of his Frostwolf Grunt. If it 5/5s, we'll use Shadow Word Death to get rid of it. Let's see what happens. Well, there goes Shadow Word Death. Bit of a bummer that. I was hoping to get some more mileage out of the Wind Fury Harpy than that, but let's just go for healing Anduin and taking out that blasted elf before it does any more damage. So, he's down to a 1-1. Unfortunately, I have blown most of my tank counters. Wind Fury Harpy next turn. No questions. Right, I'm for Grizzly. Again, can use the Lightspawn to get rid of it. That will take it down to a 3-3. I can heal it back up to a 5-5, of course, if I don't mind foregoing healing on Anduin. I think it's a little frustrating that so far all the damage he's done has been from his own tap. Right, and then going for the trade with the Voidwalker. Well, I was planning to do that next turn anyway, so that's not a big deal. Right, so 9 mana to work with. We'll get rid of the bear. Heal up. And then pull out the Harpy.
Job's done.
At least he can't easily eliminate it. And the Lightspawn is still doing a pretty solid job. What concerns me is that we're up to turn 9 and I have no idea what kind of big beast he's sitting on. Okay, that is another spell damage card. Could take it out.
What you want?
Still can take it out. Now the question is, what are you going to do with the elf? Suicide into the Lightspawn to weaken it a bit, or run it into Anduin and hope for the best? Which of those is a big threat? You're sitting on a corruption? Maybe. Maybe. Soulfire. Oh, blast. Well, at least I got rid of his Dread Infernal. That's, frankly, a worthy trade. I'll take that. I'd rather not have to take it, but that kind of demon is nasty to get rid of. So, Booty Bay Bodyguard. Shadowword Pain disposes of his taunt. Heal Lighty. And I think we will shut down his Drake before his spell damage ramps up any further. Holding off going for the beatdown, which is perhaps not a wise idea leaving it this late in the game, but at least I've got board advantage. Of course, that may not mean a thing if he starts pulling out Infernals and other similar... Ouch! Okay, right. Suddenly not in a very good position. Depending on what he pulls out next turn, Iron Forge right. Well, the Ogre's got to come out, there's no question about that. Okay, Inner Fire we can hold on to for a bit. 6-7 deploys, heal Anduin, turn over. No point playing Inner Fire on the Ogre, that should only give me 1 extra attack, and let's face it, that's not going to make a significant difference at this stage. The problem is, at this point, he can cycle his hand faster than I can with his use of life taps. So the question is, how much health is he willing to trade?
So many possibilities.
Apparently quite a lot. Right, and here comes Mortal Coil. Yeah. He's desperate for certain key cards, isn't he?
Locked and loaded.
Another Iron Forge Rifleman. These were all the cheap cards he was hoping to play in the early game. My other Inner Fire! Ah! Speaking of cheap cards you were hoping to play in the early to mid game, I need a minion, and I need one rather quickly.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is a very, very bad situation. At least his second drain life has gone. At this point I need... You will do. You will do very nicely. Let's get you onto the board. And we will Inner Fire you out of desperation, because at least that will get rid of the Ogre if he goes for it. So, end turn. I don't like this defensive position I'm in. Very much on the back foot here, very much responding to what he's doing. And he can life tap and cycle his deck faster than I can. So he trades out his Dwarf, pulls out Mortal Coil again, at least that's his second Mortal Coil gone. And I need another Taunt.
I've got a huge card.
Yeah, I really need another Taunt. If I don't get a Taunt, I'm dead. There is no two ways about it. I don't have any option. Holy Nova might get me out of this mess temporarily, oh thank God. Or rather thank the light, whichever is more appropriate. Inner Fire you. I'm a desperation move here. So, 5 damage. If he's sitting on a second Shadow Ball, I don't think he is. But equally, if he's sitting on a corruption, I'm trying. I've bought myself one more turn. Promise he can life tap again. Yeah, you are, aren't you? One card left on the deck. I think we might be able to see a fatigue problem here, which would be something of a first. Power overwhelming. No, we're not, because he's going to kill the taunt and just burn me. Oh, well. Not really. Bang and bang. Ran in close. Oh, I still had 12 cards to work with. He was completely through his deck. But even so, really never took the initiative in that match. Never went for him. I think he did more damage to himself than I did. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Yurzel. That has been part 6 of the Mega-Minion deck. And I may have to bring some low-cost minions back next turn just as cannon fodder. But that's a decision for episode 7. I'll see you then.